there's an action step that I want you to take right now. You need to do this right now. Grab your phone. You need to do this right now, by the way. Like, don't cope and say, like, oh, yeah, I'll just do this at the end of the video, blah, blah, blah. Do this right now. Grab your phone. Go to the settings. Go to the notifications tab. And turn all of them off. Every single one of them off. Every single one of them off. No excuses, because when the last time you tried to sit down and do work, here's what you did. You sat down, you grabbed the math packet, or you opened your computer, or whatever the fuck. You sat down, you did your work for a little bit, and then you got a notification on your phone, didn't you? A little bing on the fucking Snapchat or Instagram, or whatever the fuck. You got that little bing, and then you instantly grabbed your phone and started checking it. Now you had this excuse in your mind. You were like, oh no, it'll just take like 5 minutes, take 15 minutes. Ah, it's fine, whatever. It took you like 2 hours to check that one notification, didn't it? Because you didn't just check that notification. You grabbed your phone, you checked that notification. You're like, oh, that's cool. And then you were like, oh, I'm just gonna scroll for a couple minutes. What? Why? Why would you do this? Like, that is so like retarded. I'm sorry. If we put like a CCTV camera footage of you working, we would think that you were a person who had mental disabilities. Because what do you do? What do you do? We would see you, you'd be doing your work, then you would get up, you would get up off your chair, and then you like go in the mirror and like flex for a second and then go back down and do your work. Why? We would see you doing your work. You got a little notification on your phone. You instantly grabbed it and started checking it for like 2 hours. What? Why? That is genuinely like autistic behavior. So just turn them all off. Just turn every single one of them off. Now you're gonna have excuses in your mind. They're gonna say like, oh no 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 no. But what if there's an emergency and somebody texts me? Who's gonna text you during an emergency? Nobody. Nobody's gonna text you during an emergency. Nobody's gonna text me in an emergency. They'll be calling the police. They're not gonna be calling your ass. What? And then you might say like, oh no, but what if my friends respond to like hang out and stuff, and then like I don't respond fast enough, and then I can't do this, blah blah blah. It's for a couple hours, dude. After your couple hours of work are done, you can go and check any notifications that you want. You can go and check any of them. It's just for a couple hours. They'll understand. You can just text, oh hey, sorry, I didn't see your text, I was working. Boom. They'll understand, bro. It's not that big of a deal. Turn every single one of them off. Because it doesn't take 2 minutes to check a notification. 2 minutes is a fucking excuse. It takes like 2 hours. You check your notification, you're on your phone for another 2 hours. You just wasted another 2 hours of your time. Your work output per unit of time has gone down significantly. Turn off all the notifications on your phone. Every single one of them. You know, when you're in school and your teachers are like, oh yeah, but make sure guys to put your phone in another classroom. They were right. And yeah, I know you sat there and you were like, oh yeah, you know, this is just standard teacher bullshit. But they're so right, bro. If you have your phone next to you and you try and do work and with the notifications turned on, you will get zero work done. Zero work. 0 hours of work will be completed. The only task that will be completed is you would have scrolled 1,000 videos. You would have scrolled 100 videos. It's that simple. Grab your phone. Turn off every single notification on your phone. My phone has been a do not disturb with all the notifications turned off for years. You can remember this, right? Remember those times when you were taking like those tests in a classroom, and then you were like focused, you were like, you know, you were flying through the test. You were just so dialed in, and then somebody's phone just went off, or maybe your phone just went off. It just got the little buzzer notification. Now all of a sudden you're starting thinking like, whose phone was that? Like, was that my phone? Like, what is somebody texting me? Do you see how retarded your brain gets when that happens? Just turn them off, bro. It's not even that hard. It's not that big of a deal, dude. Just chill out. Just turn them off. Just turn it off, dude. Come on. Do it right now. If you haven't done it right now, you should do it literally right now. There's no excuses. There's no excuses at all. If somebody's going to find a way to contact you, then it must be important. They'll find a way. That's fine. They'll find a way. Another thing that you do that is fucking up your work hours is that you don't have a clear plan of what you want to do at all. You think that saying, "Oh, I'm going to sit down to study" is enough. What does that even mean? What are you even talking about? You're going to sit down to study? Study what? Is it math? Is it science? Like, what problems are you going to study? Oh, I'm going to sit down to do work. What work? You need to figure out these things like the night before so that when you have to do it, when that time comes, you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're not sitting there and being like, oh, what should I study today? Should I study this or should I study that or should I study this? That's going to significantly decrease your work output because you're just wasting brain points. You're just wasting time that could be spent working on deciding what to work on when you could have just done this the night before. So your action step for this one, write down in like your iPhone notes page or just on a piece of paper, what work are you going to do tomorrow? What type of work are you going to do tomorrow? Is it schoolwork? Is it you got to study for this big upcoming test or you're going to study? Okay, so you need to think like specifically, like really specifically, what are you going to do? I'm going to study for this math test and I'm going to study these questions, like questions 1 through 10 on this problem set. You write that down and then you wake up the next morning and you do that. You will work 10 times faster because you know exactly what you're supposed to do. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. There's a mindset that helped me a lot, which is called the pilot and the plane. Basically, the pilot is the one that like sets the direction that the plane is supposed to go, and the plane just executes. The plane just executes the orders of the pilot. So before your work, like the day before, this has to be the day before. It can't be the day that you're supposed to do the work. The day before, the night before, you need to be the pilot. You need to be like, okay, I'm going to record 3 videos today, and these are the video topics I'm going to record. I'm going to do problems 1 through 10 in this problem set for this math test. You need to say that. You need to be the pilot in this situation so that tomorrow you can be the plane and just execute. That's it. It's that simple. So that's your action step. Go down right now to your iPhone notes or just write down on a piece of paper what you're specifically going to do tomorrow morning. What problems you're going to work on, whatever it is. Write that down specifically what you're going to do. It's going to save you so much time, bro. Please. I remember those times when I used to sit down and say like, oh yeah, I'm just going to study. I would just cope and be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to like scroll on my phone for a little bit. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do this. And I wouldn't get any actual studying done because I had no idea what the fuck I was supposed to do. Every time I would sit down to record videos and I had no idea what to do. I would just sit there and just mentally masturbate and pretend like that I was doing work, even though I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting there, just scrolling on my phone. You need to have a clear plan for what you want to do if you want to get shit done. You need to be the pilot first before you are the plane. Because if you're the pilot first thing in the morning, you're gonna use your emotions to do some random bullshit. Whereas if you're the pilot, like the night before, the day before, you're gonna use just dry, logical decision making. You're gonna say, okay, realistically, what could the best task for me? What would the best task be for me? It would be to do this and this thing and this problem set and record this video. You would use dry, hard logic. You wouldn't use like these fleeting feelings of, oh yeah, I just don't feel like doing it today. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. You wouldn't say that. So go down right now and go figure out what you're going to do next morning. It should be very, very specific. Don't be just vague of like, oh yeah, I'm just going to study, bro. Now, the next thing that you do is that you've been fed this lie that before every test and that before every work session, you need to eat because your brain needs fuel before it can function. What? Why? Really, really like think about this. If you eat before you do your work, most of your body's energy is going to be allocated towards digesting food. It's not going to be towards recording the video or doing the homework problem or whatever the fuck. It's not going to be allocated towards that. It's going to be allocated towards digesting food because that's the main thing that's happening right now. And digestion is one of the like most energy intensive process in your body. And so why the fuck would you try and work whilst your body's digesting food? It doesn't make any sense. The best work, I promise you, you will get the most work done when you just eat nothing, when you just drink water. That's it. Don't eat anything. Especially carbs, bro. I swear, if I try and eat some carbs and then I try and record a video, I genuinely become like super retarded. Like I can't talk. I like physically cannot talk because I just have so much brain fog. Why? Because my body's digesting food. And so first, you need to do your work before you digest food. Wait as long as possible before you eat your first meal so that you can get the most work done. Otherwise, you're just not going to get anything done. Try this the next time you eat. Eat some like oats or eat some like bread or some random bullshit and go and do your work, and you will find that you're going to be slow. Your brain can't think as clearly. You're going to be sleepy. You're not going to get anything done if you eat before you try and do your work. It's not going to happen. Do your work first, then eat afterwards. It's as simple as that. Now, something else that you're doing is that you have a 3-hour morning routine. Your morning routine is so fucking long because you do this and this and this, and you do your cold plunge, and you do red light therapy, and then you gotta get sunlight because Andrew Huberman said that sunlight is good for health and stuff. And you might be saying like, what? Like, what is this dude talking about? Like, oh, my morning routine is not that long. It's like, your morning routine is an hour long. It's still long as fuck. What's the most important thing? What is the thing that matters most right now? Well, your work, isn't it? If you're watching a video like this, it's probably your work. And so the time between when you wake up and the time that you do your work needs to be as short as possible. It shouldn't be an hour long. It shouldn't be 2 hours long. The time that I wake up to the time that I do work, like that time period is probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. because I don't have a 3 hour morning routine where I get up and then I meditate for 20 minutes, and I do my gratitude journal, and then I do a cold plunge, then I do all this stuff. I don't do that. I basically wake up, I take a shit, I brush my teeth, I do like a little shower, and then I work. That's it. Because what is the thing that matters most right now? It's probably your work, isn't it? And so that's the thing that you have to allocate the most time towards. And so I'm not saying that those things are bad. I'm not saying that, meditating is bad or cold showers are bad or whatever the fuck. Yeah, you can still do those. Just do them later. Just do those things later, because right now you need to allocate the most amount of time to the thing that matters most, which is work. And so there's no need for a 3 hour morning routine. There's no need for an hour long meditation session. Yeah, you can do those things, of course. You can still do those good habits. Just do them later, because right now the priority is work. The priority is getting this work task done. You wake up, maybe you take a shit, you brush your teeth. If you're like super dirty, maybe you do a little shower, and that's it. And then you just do your work. You eat the frog earlier in the day. Eat the frog. Basically, eat the frog. What this means is, if you had a frog to eat, like if somebody gave you like a big frog, and was like, okay, you're gonna have to eat this frog at some point during the day. When would you eat this? When would you eat the frog? When would you eat it? Would you eat it later in the day? Because you're gonna be thinking about it the whole day. You're gonna be like eating your meal, like your regular meal, and it's not even gonna be that enjoyable. And you're gonna be thinking to yourself, "Oh no, I have to eat this frog like later or something." It's gonna take up so much of your brain power. Or you could have just ate the frog like as soon as you woke up, like early in the morning. Because when you eat the frog early in the morning, it's like the rest of your day is just fine. Like, yeah, the frog tastes weird, yeah, whatever, whatever. The taste dissipates after like 20 minutes. And so then you can just enjoy the rest of the day. You can enjoy the rest of your meals. The same concept applies to this. What is your eat the frog task that you could do basically as soon as you wake up? Figure out what that task is and do it after like 20 minutes after you wake up. There's no need for a 3 hour morning routine or a 2 hour or whatever the fuck. You wake up, you do what you got to do for a little bit, and then you just work. That's it. Because that's the priority right now. Yeah, you can still do those good habits, but just do them later in the day, dude. Come on. Hope this video helped you, bro. Take care.